Dayquil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks Dayquil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
They say they'll get your biggest tax refund. Jackson Hewitt says your biggest tax refund guaranteed, and a chance to double your tax refund. Thousands in weekly prizes during the Double Your Refund sweepstakes. Your biggest refund times 2, twice the money, so forget about them. File your taxes on the double at Jackson Hewitt today. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to U.S. residents 18 or older who file a 2022 federal tax return. Promotion ends 4/2/23. Visit jacksonhewitt.com for rules.
95.7 The Game is an equal opportunity employer, and we encourage local community organizations to refer qualified applicants to us. You can receive The Game and Odyssey job vacancy information by contacting Human Resources at 415-765-4011 or by emailing sfhr@odyssey.com.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Make the switch to green soaps and personal products and green cleaning products for the sink and shower. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station. It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game.
One down, 3 more to go. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Pregame Show with Joe Spadoni on this Dr. Martin Luther King holiday. Welcome in all of you who have to work. We're getting off work. Still got school. Although I don't think you should have school on a federal holiday. But if you do, maybe you're going in, you got an assignment you got to finish. Maybe your kids still got school, what have you. Welcome in. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, we got an awful lot to break down in what was probably the wildest wildcard weekend I have ever seen in the NFL. I mean, this had everything. Every single game had drama. Even the Niners had some drama. Although you wouldn't know it by the final score, 41-23, Niners handle their business over the Seattle Seahawks. Brock Purdy, all he does is win. 18-30, 332 yards, 4 total touchdowns as the Niners get it done over Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks. Man, what a fun weekend. I cannot recall a weekend like that of football in a very, very long time. Every single game. Even that first half, you were sweating, Niners fans. Don't you lie. You were sweating. 17-16 down. Hell, Nick Bosa said he was nervous after halftime. Nick Bosa said it. And he had the recovered fumble that ended up changing the whole thing. So we're going to break all that down. Again, if you want to join in the conversation, 888-957-9570. Xfinity mobile text line, 888-957-9570. YouTube, we are up and running. Hello. Join in the chat there. Would love to have you. And Twitter, @Spadoni_Joe. Love to hear from you on that platform as well. Every single game. We're going to talk about it all in a short amount of time. We got an hour. I don't care. We're going to pack it all in there because every single game this weekend had drama. Up until last night with that Bengals-Ravens game. And, hell, you got to feel like if Lamar Jackson was starting that game, they would have won. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. He did not. It was Tyler Huntley, the backup. Gave his team a chance at the end there. Hoisted into the end zone. Dropped. Oh, so close to getting an overtime. Or hell, if I'm John Harbaugh at that point, I'm going for 2. What do you got to lose? Right? But they didn't. Bengals hang on. They face the Bills. The Bills, man, they struggled. They struggled mightily against a third-string quarterback against the Miami Dolphins, Skylar Thompson. They let him hang around. He thought if it was, after it was, 17-0, I was like, okay, this game's over. No. If Skylar Thompson's receivers caught the ball, shout out Jalen Waddle and Jeff Wilson Jr. among others, he thought maybe Dolphins probably won that game. But they didn't. Buffalo survives. Again, divisional matchups are weird in the playoffs. We'll hear that all the time. It wasn't weird at Levi Stadium. That's for sure. It was not weird at Levi Stadium. First half, a little shaky, but Kyle Shanahan went back to his bread and butter, running the football. Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy made some plays with his legs, extended plays, threw for 332 yards, and the rest was history. 15 carries, $119 for Christian McCaffrey. 2 receptions, 17 yards as well. So over 136 total yards for Christian McCaffrey. And just watching the football over the weekend, it just felt like the Niners were the most buttoned up team top to bottom, right? Didn't it feel like that? At least it did to me watching it. Now, the Seattle Seahawks, God bless them. Great year for them. Exceeded all expectations. Their preseason win total, I think, was 6. Exceeded that a long time ago. Thought to be the worst team in the NFC. They showed a lot of people wrong. Geno Smith didn't write back. Yada, yada. He had a great season. The team got a great season. But doesn't that feel great to beat Pete Carroll in what it feels like it's finally a turning of the tide here in the division. This is the Niners division, and it's going to be that way for a long time. That's what that win signaled to me, and that loss for the Seattle Seahawks signaled to them. This is the Niners division. And yeah, I know Seahawks got some cap space, whatever. You got a top 5 pick. You don't have a quarterback. All due respect to Geno Smith, and really it's not, because if there was another quarterback on that team, Russell Wilson, maybe things would have been different. But it was Geno and not Russ. You know, I saw a stat floating around. I sent it in the chat. I think it was Nick Wagner, ESPN, who covers the team. He was like, Pete Carroll, 6-0 by leading at halftime in the playoffs. I was like, we could change that to Russell Wilson is 6-0 when leading at the half in the playoffs. Not Pete. That was Russell Wilson. So Pete Carroll is now 6-1 when leading at halftime in the playoffs. 49ers, 41, Seattle Seahawks, 23. We're going to hear it all. Hear all the highlights. We're going to hear from Shanahan, Purdy, and I want to hear from you at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. 510. Niners had drama. It was a 1-point game at the half, playing like crap. Can't say the other word. Yeah, I'd say there was a little drama, but compared to the rest of the teams that played this weekend, that wasn't drama. Did you see the choke job that was the San Diego, now Los Angeles Chargers on Saturday night in Jacksonville? Oh my God. You just hate to see it if you're a Chargers fan. You just hate to see that. Sorry, Evan Giddings, E-Dog, 415ers, Mark Grandy, Evan Giddings. Check it out. We love you, Evan. I'm sorry. Oh. Are you kidding me? Dougie P, Trevor Lawrence overcomes 4 interceptions the first half. Just an incredibly insane football weekend. Insane. You got Kirk Clutchins. He's back to Kirk Cousins. Throwing short of the sticks yesterday in a 4th and 8 situation. Throws a 2-yard out to TJ Hawkinson. Like, what is that? Kirk, what are you doing? Shout out Willard and Dibbs. What are you doing? I thought only Derek Carr throwed it short of the sticks in the playoffs. When the game's on the line. Not only he did that. Tyler Huntley, he did the right thing in the Bengals game. Throw it toward the end zone. Throw it to Jefferson. Throw it to Thielen. Throw it to someone. Not a guy that's not going to get a first down. So the Giants, they take care of business against the Vikings. Like I mentioned, the Jags take care of business against the Chargers. Bills hang on. Niners smash the Seahawks. And all the division matchups are set except one, which will culminate tonight in Tampa Bay as Tom Brady and the Buccaneers await Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Winner of that matchup heads to Levi's Stadium next week, so we will have all eyes on that tonight. We'll also have all eyes on the Warriors at 12 o'clock today. They'll be taking on the Washington Wizards, and Warriors pregame live will start at 11 o'clock with John Dickinson before tossing over to the great Tim Roy, who will take you to tip-off and have all the coverage there. But don't worry. We are locked and loaded still on the 49ers. Our stream will be active. Steiny and Goo, Willard and Dibbs that last hour, our stream will be active. So starting at 11 o'clock, our stream will be covering Niners, Seahawks, this crazy NFL weekend. Steiny and Goo, they will also be on the stream covering it. So don't miss anything. Don't worry. If you want to lock in on the Warriors, have the game on while still consuming some Niners, put that stream on. Download the Odyssey app right now. Favorite 95.7 The Game. And then hit subscribe, whatever you got to do. You know? Listen to that while watching the game. Do both. We love it. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570, 510. I have to go. I'm on the clock, unfortunately. Hey, shout out you for checking in this early. I appreciate you, 510. I'm not going to be able to know if you read this text, but there's something that needs to be said about the sensitive calls on roughing the kicker and roughing the passer. I found myself getting really mad and disappointed with the sport I love after those referees make those calls. Man, I understand safety and quarterbacks are the number one thing, but seriously gotten out of hand, and now the kicker garbage. Oh, it's Garbage Man Super Mario? Is that your name? Wow. Garbage Man Super Mario. I thought he was a plumber, Super Mario, but I guess it's the Garbage Man Super Mario. Shout out Garbage Man. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the garbage men and women, but I'll leave that to Bonte to give all those shout outs to the garbage men, the ushers, the strippers, all that. That's a Bonte thing. Well, if you're referring to the roughing the kicker that happened in the Bengals-Ravens game last night, it didn't really end up making a huge difference. It did take some time off the clock if you're a Ravens fan, but I think more time was taken off the clock towards the end there by your own head coach and John Harbaugh. And I'm not going to here to crush Harbaugh's clock management there at the end. I think that was more the offensive penalty that happened to the Ravens. You know, that offensive holding call that really pushed them back, and that kind of put them in a hole that they couldn't dig out of. Last gasp effort, and it was not meant to be, and the Bengals are heading to Buffalo. So again, all the playoff matchups are set. Let's run them down through them right now, except for the 49ers, who await, obviously, the winner of Tampa Bay and Dallas. So we got Jags Chiefs, Giants Eagles, Bengals Bills, and then 49ers v Cowboys or Bucks. I'm telling you, this is the wildest wild card weekend I've ever seen in my life. Just absolutely crazy. Shout out Joseph Correa on the YouTube. Who do you want to play if you're the 49ers, Tampa or Dallas? Interesting question, Joseph. It's an interesting question. We'll dive more into that when it happens. I'll say this. There's only one guy in the NFC playoffs right now at quarterback that I fear. It's not Brock Purdy. It's not Jalen Hurts. And it's not Dak Prescott. It's the old man, Tom Brady. I fear him. I have a healthy fear of him. I think all fans should have a healthy fear of Tom Brady. I get it that you smashed the Bucs early in this season, but you know what? Things change. How many times have Tom Brady gotten smashed by a team in the regular season and come back and beat them in the playoffs? It happens. It's a game of matchups. Now, you can juxtapose out the Cowboys. I think they're the more athletic team. I think they got speed on defense. They're opportunistic on defense. Their secondary can be vulnerable, but that defensive pass rush is legit. Micah Parsons is very good. Talks a lot, but he is very good. If you look at some of the stats, though, maybe playing on grass isn't his favorite thing. Maybe there are a little bit of front runners. Dak has struggled. But I'll say this. They have weapons. That secondary of the 49ers is vulnerable. You saw it this weekend. DK ate Charvarius Ward's lunch. His name is no longer Charvarius. It is Charmander. Shout out Charmander in the Pokemon because he got burned. He got burned by DK. And you are going to be facing physical wide receivers. Shout out Mike Evans. CeeDee Lamb, not as physical. He's a great player. He will get past you. He's got speed. He's got elite route running ability, big play potential. And then down the road, you'll either be facing the Giants or the Eagles and A.J. Brown. So Secondary's still a concern, but when you're scoring that many points like the 49ers did, hell, who cares? You can score with the best of them. But the defense and the secondary is still concerning. It is absolutely still concerning. So 888-957-9570, 415. Damon and Rattle coming on today. Yeah, they're coming on. Be on the stream, and then once that's over, they'll hop on there. So yes, they will be on. We'll all be on. We're live and local today, 95.7 The Game. Don't go anywhere. Again, the stream will be up starting at 11. Warriors pregame live on the dial. So if you still wanted your Niners coverage, we will have that for you all day on the stream. So download that Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game. Don't get it twisted. All right, it's time to break down this Niners game. It started with CMC, who is slowly, and maybe not slowly, because the guy's never slow, fastly becoming the greatest mid-season trade in the history of Bay Area sports.
Second and goal. Purdy scans, dances, and finds McCaffrey, who broke loose. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Joe Davis on the call, Fox Sports. CMC making it 10-0 first quarter, and you thought, okay, yeah, I'm not feeling this. This game's going to be a wrap. Maybe I should go home. There's no rain. This is going to be done. Night. We're going to run away with this. Not so fast. After a Kenneth Walker touchdown, it's like, okay, game on. We'll see. And then this happened.
Niners bring pressure. It's picked up. Smith has time. Wants Metcalf. DK Metcalf. Touchdown, Seattle. Dropped right in the bucket. 50 yards and a tie game.
Just an absolute dime from Geno Smith there to DK Metcalf, and that's the concerning part, the big play potential from some of these quarterbacks going forward. It's got to be a concern. It's got to be a concern. But that's the only concern I have right now for the 49ers. And it's just the secondary. And it's a big one, yes. But if that's your only concern, I think you could sleep at night. Because more often than not, Nick Bosa, who was kind of held in check for the most part, did have that fumble recovery after Omenahu's strip sack. But more often than not, Nick Bosa is going to get home. He's going to get to the house, and the pressure will be there. Here's how the 49ers responded in the second half.
It's Purdy to sneak it. It's a wall at first, but then he surges forward, and the 49ers are back in front.
49ers got back in front pretty quick into the third quarter, and they didn't look back, right? The whole Jonathan Abram pulling at Deebo Samuel's leg, that whole thing, it sparked the team. Jonathan Abram, you know him, former Raider. He was on Hard Knocks, kind of a knucklehead kind of a guy. He'll make big hits, but he'll make boneheaded plays. A lot of former Raiders over the weekend making some boneheaded plays, par for the course. Shout out Gruden and Mayock for those draft picks. Thank you. But John Abram, he sparked that team, pulling at Deebo Samuel's leg after a big completion. You know, Bush League stuff. And Kyle Shanahan, you know, he talked about that, the team getting pissed off and how they kind of rallied around it at that point.
I was worried that he was hurt on it. I lost my mind a little bit on that. But yeah, I was real concerned that he was hurt on it. You know, I didn't like how that looked. I thought it looked pretty bad and the intent of the play. So I think that pissed a lot of people off. I think it pissed our team off. And I think you can kind of feel our team react to that after. I wish we were like that from the first play always, but sometimes when some stuff motivates the guys, I think it was cool to see us rally together. And I know Deebo was bothered, and it was cool he came back and answered.
Deebo was definitely bothered. He talked about it after the game too. He's like, listen, man, you can't do that. Like, that hurt. So, yes, that is dirty. That is dirty what Jonathan Abram did. It's playoff football. Sometimes it's dirty. I get that. It's a rivalry. But, hey, mess with the bull, you'll get the horns, and that's what happened with the 49ers on the offense. They became a bull. They became a bully, and they smashed that Seahawks team in the second half. Just sucked their will to live. They roasted whatever is a Seahawk. I don't even know if that's a real bird or a fake one. They put it on the spit, and they roasted it. They put some barbecue sauce on top, and they had some mac salad and some greens on the side. And that's what happened to the Seattle Seahawks in the second half. Shout out Donut Man 415 on the YouTube chat. I was at the game. It was the loudest I've heard at Levi's. I was giving away Victory Donuts. Donut Man, come down here to Battery Street in San Francisco right now. 865 Battery. Drop off some donuts. I need some. It's a cheat day. It's a holiday. Shout out Dr. Martin Luther King. So we remember him and his greatness, all that he meant for this country and for equality for every single man and woman in this country. I need some donuts to celebrate that victory and to celebrate this holiday. Come on, Donut Man. Don't leave me hanging. And shout out all the donut makers, the bakers, all what have you. They get up early. No days off in the cooking industry. So shout out all of you who listen. We appreciate you. And then I mentioned it, and this was the play of the game. It changed everything. Yeah, the Abram one kind of was the catalyst, but this was the actual play that changed it all for the San Francisco 49ers against the Seattle Seahawks.
Third down and 14. Pressure. Ball is out. San Francisco's got it. It was all Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa. What can you say? He just has a knack for making big plays the big time, right? Omenihu forced the fumble, but Bosa, right place, right time, hopped on that thing, and it was night after that. You just felt it. The whole energy of the stadium got behind it. To Donut Man's point on the YouTube chat, it was loud, and they felt it. The Seahawks knew it. The 49ers knew it. Everyone knew it watching the TV. This thing was over. It was over. And if you're the Bosa's parents this weekend, just to put the rat on the table, I don't know how you're feeling. I do not know how you're feeling. Because on one end of the spectrum, you have this great victory, not that nervous for Nick Bosa watching that game and the 49ers smash the Seahawks. On one side, you have a son in Joey, the older son, throwing some temper tantrums as his team blows a 27-point lead. I almost said victory. Not the Chargers in the playoffs. 27-point lead in Jacksonville. And I get it. The Bosas are from Florida. I think the moms, per Sam Lubman, producer extraordinaire for the Morning Roast, he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Nick's mom and Joey's mom was at the Jags game in Chargers. Oof. I could not imagine being a parent and having to watch a total collapse like that. And it all culminate, too, with your son throwing his helmet. Having obviously, there was an offside. Check that. There was a false start on the Jags player. Forget the offensive lineman's name. Clearly a false start that wasn't called. Bosa's upset. He gets penalized. Jags can now go for 2. They went for 2. And it ended up being the difference because the Jags then had a chance to win the game, and they did it on a field goal in what was the third greatest comeback in the history of the playoffs. You had the Bills, obviously, and Frank Reich coming down from 30-plus against the Oilers and Warren Moon. It was 10 years ago now. Wow, crazy time flies. You had the Andrew Luck Colts coming back against the Chiefs, the Alex Smith Chiefs, and the Andy Reid-led Chiefs. And then Saturday in Jacksonville, Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence coming back from 27 points down to take out Brandon Staley, Derwin James, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, all those choke artists. And you just hate to see it if you're a Los Angeles Chargers fan. Just hate to see it. Very tough. Man. How does Brandon Staley keep his job? Oh, yeah. Teen Spanos is the owner. That's how. Cheap owners keep bad quarterbacks. Check that. Bad coaches. Although Justin Herbert didn't play great in the second half. Cheap owners keep bad coaches around, even if they have so much talent around them. And it is what it is if you're a Chargers fan, if you're a Raiders fan. Shout out Mark Davis. John Fisher. I can just keep going down on and on the list. Bad owners make bad decisions. And keeping Brandon Staley around would be a bad one, but that's all I expect from the Los Angeles, formerly San Diego Chargers. Back to the Niners. I'm hearing in my ear. All right, back to the Niners. Here's Kyle Shanahan talking about Brock Purdy and his swag.
Once he got in that game versus Miami, we didn't have the luxury to sit there and worry about stuff the way the game was going. We just had to call plays to try to win the game, and he did such a hell of a job, and he's done it every time since. So we got a lot of confidence in him, and he gives us more and more confidence each week.
You want to hear a stat? This one will blow your mind. Brock Purdy has as many touchdown passes. Check that. Total touchdowns. Just total touchdowns. 4 in one game. He has as many as that as Jimmy Garoppolo has his entire playoff career. As many as Jimmy in his whole playoff runs. Can you believe that? In one game, Brock Purdy equaled Jimmy Garoppolo's total. And I'm not here to rag on Jimmy, but you can just see the confidence in one quarterback compared to another from the head coach. You can just see it. All those passes in the first half, yeah, there were some scary ones. I think Brock Purdy felt the nerves. At least I think so. Brock, how was your first playoff game?
There was some emotion going into the game. You could just feel it, in the environment with the fans and our teammates. Man, this is win or go home. You did feel that, I feel like pregame and whatnot. But once the game started, it was all, hey, it's 11 on 11. I got to do my job. I got to get it to the guys when they're in space and go from there. But, we didn't make it more than what it was. You could feel it in the first half in terms of, Seattle's playing really good football. It's playoff football. Everyone plays their best football. So I feel like that was just something that we had in the back of our minds too. But overall, it wasn't, oh my gosh, we're in the playoffs, we got to get all tense or anything like that. So we just got to play our game and let everything else fall into place.
I thought Brock Purdy did an amazing job calming down in that second half and then just playing the game of his life. The scrambling ability of Brock Purdy has changed everything for this 49ers offense. We thought it was CMC, and it obviously, CMC is the greatest offensive player on the team, skill set wise. But Brock Purdy's ability to move out the legs, and this is a reason why you wanted Trey Lance in there, the mobility factor, being able to scramble. And while Brock may not be Lamar Jackson, he is perfect in scrambling and finding just that quick little, let me roll out. Oh, nothing's there. 10 yards. Boom. First down. I'm not going to get hit. Although there are some times where he extends. He rolls to his left. As a right-handed quarterback, that's tough because he has to set his feet. He doesn't have that upper body torque like a Patrick Mahomes or a Justin Herbert or Josh Allen. So he's got to set his feet real quick. And sometimes he leaves himself open to take some big shots. He took a couple against the Seahawks, got back up, wasn't phased, and he did his thing. It was just impressive. He didn't look like a rookie. After that first half, he seemed like, oh, I'm not a rookie anymore. Okay. I'll extend. And then I'll do crazy stuff and find my playmakers. He's even doing quarterback sneaks. Brock Purdy. He's not the biggest guy. He's not Tom Brady, right? He's not Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. He's doing QB sneaks and he's converting them. It's just, what can't Brock do at this point? What can he do? Yeah, he doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's doing all the little things he needs to do. Some things that looked hard when Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback. He's making it look easy. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Xfinity Mobile text line, YouTube chat, hit me up there. We appreciate you. We're going to take a quick break. Coming back. I saw something over this weekend that has me concerned if I'm a 49ers fan. I'll talk about what that is on the other side. This is the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
It's a Monster Monday on 95.7 The Game. Brought to you by John Vai's Bay Area Houses. Thinking of selling your home but don't want to deal with repairs, cleaning, realtors, photos, and showings? With John Vai's Bay Area Houses.com. You don't have to do any repairs or pay any commissions. Visit John Vai's Bay Area Houses.com.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You might get wireless data everywhere, but do you have to use it all the time? If that's not really you, there's TracFone. You can get the same nationwide 5G coverage as big carriers, but you pick a plan that you need for a lot less. Unlimited talk and text plans start at $15 a month, no contract. And now you can get the Samsung Galaxy A03s for just $49.99. TracFone. Now you're in control. While supplies last, 1 month equals 30 days. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Hi, welcome to IKEA and our winter sale. Hi. We've got hundreds of offers on everything from storage solutions to...
I'm sorry, did you say hundreds?
Yeah. Check out our offers on shelving and desks.
Ooh, what about mattresses?
Yep, those too.
Dressers? Sofas?
Yes and yes.
I think I need a bigger cart.
Our winter sale is almost over. Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/offers to save through January 22nd. Offer dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and IKEA-USA.com/offers for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
So, the other day, I bought an extremely chatty...
Boring story time!
Make that an extremely catty cockatoo.
You're welcome!
Apparently, the pet store won't take it back. But, hey, I'll manage.
I love that for you!
Just like I manage without home internet.
No, you don't!
Sure, my mobile hotspot is slow and makes streaming shows unbearable.
Aw, Purdy likes to stream!
But I'm making do. Oh no, who's this?
My lady friend! It's mating season, duh!
No home internet? It's not that bad. No, not there!
It is that bad. Don't settle. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $19.99 a month for 1 year with a free streaming box. Call, click, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 2/21/23.
Hi, I'm Aaron, owner of California Deluxe Windows. Ever notice? When your neighbors get new windows, there is a large black eye of broken stucco, uneven plaster, and even mismatched paint. At California Deluxe Windows, we never leave a ring around the window. Why? Because we are one of the only companies in California who custom crafts every window and door to your home's exact measurements. Almost everyone else on the radio is a distributor. They grab a window from a warehouse, break open your walls, shove it in, and patch things up. At California Deluxe Windows, we take pride in our work. Our installation technique is so precise, we do not break your stucco. Your house could be covered with potato chips, and we wouldn't crack one.
Call now, and for a limited time, you get 30% off your entire order and 24 months of interest-free financing. 800-874-3600. 800-874-3600. That's 800-874-3600. California Deluxe Windows. Windows engineered for life.
Certain terms and conditions apply. CSLB number 774518.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, Maria in Miami, and Jules in Troy, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with high-quality supplies for every industry, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you ready? Bonus days are back for pros at Lowe's. You earn points and save when you buy the top pro brands you trust, like DeWalt. Right now, you can save $100 on the powerful DeWalt 8¼ carbide tipped portable table saw. Was $3.99, now just $2.99. Join today and shop bonus days, only at Lowe's. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 1/20, subject to change while supplies last. Visit Lowes.com/MVPs bonus points for details.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show, Joe Spadoni. 49ers a big pimpin'. 41-23 win over the Seattle Seahawks. They await the winner of the Cowboys-Bucks, which will culminate Wild Card Weekend tonight in Tampa Bay on ESPN. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call. Can't wait to lock into that one. Warriors, they take on the Washington Wizards after a disappointing loss on the road. What else is new yesterday to the Chicago Bulls? Stephen Curry, almost a triple-double in a bad way. 8 turnovers? Oof. Not great. Seems like, once again, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde with the Golden State Warriors. But they take on the Washington Wizards. We will have all that coverage for you here, right here on 95.7 The Game, starting the Warriors Live. John Dickinson at 11 o'clock, taking you to Tim Roy, who has the call and tip-off. We'll have all that coverage for you here. But also, we'll be covering this 49ers game all day as well. Download the Odyssey app, favorite 95.7 The Game, and Steiny, Goo, Willard, Dibbs, Damon, and Ratto stream. That's where we will be on all day, all night. Well, maybe not all night, but part of the night, right here on 95.7 The Game. If you want all your Warriors coverage and 49ers coverage, it's right there. Back to the game. I teased it earlier. And let's clean up some stuff here from the Xfinity Mobile text line, 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570, and the YouTube chat. Hello, YouTube. 510, Brock threw for 3 touchdowns, brother, not 4. He has 4 total touchdowns on the day, brother. Said he threw for 3, and he rushed for 1. So get your facts straight and get back to me, 510. Just kidding. I was just doing my best Steiny impression right there. Steiny's down bad. Oh, his Vikings. Tough. It was very tough, but everyone outside of Matt Steinmetz was not surprised at the outcome of that. Danny Dimes looked like Joe Montana, dicing up the Purple People stinkers, is what they were in Minnesota. Wow. Chat's on fire right now. A lot of back and forth. Play of the game from Joseph Correa was the Lenore INT. Big for his ego. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. And here's how it sounded from Joe Davis on Fox.
Geno Smith to the sideline, and he gets picked off by Diamador Lenore. But the guy that's been picked on for much of this season steps in front of the pass in the second Niner takeaway.
Great call. Joe Davis is so good. That guy, football, baseball, doesn't matter. He's elite. I know we hate him because he's the Dodgers TV guy, but we didn't hate Vin Scully, and I'm sure Joe Davis is going to be around there for a long time. Maybe not as long as Vin, and no one did it better than Vin, but he stepped in and did a hell of a job, and does a hell of a job for Fox Sports. So, all well and good now with Lenore and that one pick. You feeling better, Niners fans, just because of that one pick? I'm not. And Nico from the YouTube chat saying, what's the concern? The secondary. Come on, man, be realistic. They can't stop every bomb thrown at them. Every team is the same way. It's all luck. It's not all luck on the deep throws. It's not all luck. It's legitimately a skill. That's why quarterbacks get paid in this league, because they can hit bombs like Geno Smith was doing to DK Metcalf. It's why Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill made so much money. It's why the 49ers lost the freaking Super Bowl. Do you remember that? It was because Patrick Mahomes scrambled on 3rd and forever, and guess what? He threw a bomb to Tyreek Hill, and that was pretty much the game right there, in hindsight. So it matters. I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer. I'm not. It was a hell of a win. They smashed the Seahawks. But you're delusional if you think that the secondary is not a problem. It is. In all due respect to Geno Smith, he's not Jalen Hurts. And we'll see how that shoulder's doing when they take on the Giants next week. He's not Dak Prescott. And for as much as we want to hate Dak Prescott and say he stinks and he's turning the ball over and he hasn't played last while, he's got an arm. Tom Brady, whatever that TB12 diet is, he's got an arm. And he's got weapons. And if you get to the Super Bowl, guess who you will be facing? Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Doesn't matter who else. Kadarius Toney is apparently the guy now. He can do everything. Like, those are the teams you're going to be facing. Elite quarterbacks with elite wide receivers. So it matters. So good for Lenoir getting that interception at the end. Hopefully that does build him some confidence. But I'm not ready to go that far that it changed everything and then that the secondary is suddenly good. Charvarius Ward's your number one corner, and he got burned. He got burned. He's Charmander Ward until further notice. Xfinity Mobile text line, 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. YouTube chat still on fire. Khalil, Dallas losing tonight? Boy, I'm hoping the Niners fans hoping they are. Although there's some contingent of Niners fans I'm talking to like, no, I want the Cowboys so we can smash them again, but this time at home and not at Jerry's World, even though that felt great. Shout out Bonte going to Jerry's World last year. What say you, Niners fans? You let me know. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Who do you want to play? Bucks or Cowboys? I said at the top of the hour, top of the show, there is still something to Tom Brady in the playoffs. Like, and I know you smashed the guy early in the season, but time in and time out for what seems like 50 years now. Like, Tom Brady's been doing this since I've been 6, 7. What was it? 2000, 2001, whenever he was drafted. I was born in 93. So more than 2/3 of my life, this guy has been winning Super Bowls. That's all I known is Tom Brady being the greatest. That's all I have known. And until someone, and the Rams did it last year, and they were up big, right? The Rams were up big in Tampa last year in the playoffs, and Tom Brady nearly brought them all the way back to the win. Pretty sure he tied it, did he not? And then there was a defensive pass interference, and then there was a field goal. The Rams won it. We know the rest. The Rams go on to win the whole thing. But it is very difficult to beat this guy. You saw the freaking Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan knows better. 28-3. And Kyle wasn't the reason they lost. Hell, they scored over 30 points. But it's Tom Brady. And once he gets on a roll, it's a scary thing. So I would rather face the Cowboys, just given how Dak is playing this weekend. Maybe Cowboys won't even get there. But we'll see. We shall see. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Everyone on the text line, I want Dallas. Dak stinks. Fair enough, 49ers fans. Fair enough. A lot of you seem to want Dallas, and I don't blame you. Just for the content from Guru alone on this station, I kind of want the Cowboys as well. It would just be great theater. And selfishly, I want Tom Brady to be bounced out of the playoffs as soon as possible because I want him to sign with my Raiders. That's neither here nor there. I digress. We're going to take one more quick break here. Come on back before tossing over to the morning roast. Bonte and Shasky, they are fired up after a big 49ers win. They handle the Seahawks 41-23. They await the winner of the Bucks and Cowboys. That will conclude tonight on ESPN. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman on the call, and a Troy Aikman calling a Cowboys game is always great because he crushes that team, and he is harder on that team more than any other. So the disgust level will be on an all-time high for that broadcast. One more segment coming up here for you. Joe Shasky will join me for a couple minutes. He was at the game. I want to get his thoughts on that crowd. They looked like they were going nuts. He got onto the Jumbotron. I know Joe's excited there. So we'll ask him about that, about the secondary, about Brock freaking Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, Christian McCaffrey, all of that on the other side. This is the pregame show with Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Are you ready to boost your game at work, explode with energy at the gym, and really hit one out of the park in the bedroom? Balanced Medical Solutions has your back with the best solutions for ED, PE, weight gain, and chronic fatigue. Join thousands of Bay Area men who have said goodbye to low testosterone, low energy, and low libido who now feel like world champs. Mention this station until the end of the month to get a medical evaluation with labs, including hormone tests, for only $69. Call today and get a win. 510-679-3300 or visit balancedmedicalsolutions.com.
It's a Monster Monday on 95.7 The Game. brought to you by Zenni, the official eyewear of the San Francisco 49ers. Shop from over 3,000 styles at 80% off retail prices, exclusively at Zenni.com.
Bonus days are back for pros at Lowe's. You earn points and save when you buy the top pro brands you trust, like DeWalt. Right now, you can save $100 on the powerful DeWalt 8¼ carbide tipped portable table saw. Was $399, now just $299. Join today and shop bonus days, only at Lowe's. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 1/20, subject to change while supplies last. Visit Lowes.com/MVP's bonus points for details.
I've had COVID.
Me too.
But I didn't know you could get it again.
What?
And if you're 50 or older,
or have a chronic condition like heart disease or diabetes.
Getting COVID again could get really serious, even deadly.
That's why getting an updated COVID vaccine is so important.
COVID isn't going away anytime soon, but I can lower my risk.
And I'm up for that.
We can do this. Find updated COVID vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Golfers, tee it up this Thursday through Sunday at the Golf Mart for the Callaway Fitting event and be the first to score the new Paradigm woods and irons. The woods are engineered with forged carbon to maximize distance and forgiveness. The irons feature a forged face for increased launch speed and spin. A new paradigm in performance. Go to worldwidegolfshops.com and reserve your free custom fitting experience happening this Thursday through Sunday. The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Better sleep can change your life. That's because sleep is a core pillar of health, just like nutrition and exercise. So if you're not getting enough of it, ZQL invites you to take our Better Sleep to Better Health Challenge. Get weekly sleep tips and explore how ZQL, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, can help you. ZQL's Better Sleep to Better Health Challenge. Visit ZQL.com.
Find ZQL at Walmart or Walmart.com and start your journey to better sleep today. I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show, Joe Spadoni, Martin Luther King Day, MLK Day. Shout out the great Dr. Martin Luther King and all he has meant for this country, for equality around the world, and his legacy. We remember him today on an important day, and man, just an incredible weekend. An incredible weekend if you're a sports fan. And shout out all of you who have the day off. Shout out to all of you who don't have the day off and who are working, commuting, listening to me here on the Odyssey app, YouTube. All of you, we appreciate it. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Xfinity mobile text line, YouTube. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. The chat's on fire. I seem to have struck a nerve with too much Tom Brady adulation, whatever you want to say. He's a great quarterback. That's all I was saying. It's all right, Niners fans. You guys are great. You won. You won big. Don't worry. If you're as great as you were against the Seahawks, I'm sure you'll be fine against either the Cowboys or the Bucs. It's all right. It's going to be fine. You're allowed to prop up other players around the league while still acknowledging that you have a really good team. It's okay. It's what makes Sports Talk Radio fun, talking about all the other games that happened this weekend, and there's still good talent around there. Now, does anyone else have the offensive talent and weaponry that the 49ers have top to bottom? I don't think so. So how about that? You got George Kittle making plays, Brandon Ayuk being shifty, Deebo Samuel, get Deebo mad, see what happens. Shout out Jonathan Abram. CMC, Elijah Mitchell, Brock Purdy scrambling. He's slippery. He's an eel out there. He's got LeBron James tweeting about him.
Are you a LeBron James fan?
Yeah, LeBron, yeah.
Did you see that he tweeted about you?
I did not.
Said, watch LeBron good game.
LeBron said that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's so cool.
That's Brock Purdy, his vernacular and the way he goes about himself and the way he dresses, everything just reminds me of like me and my friend groups in high school, right? Or even like college, what have you. Just so chill. Like, oh, he said that? Oh, sweet. Right? Like, I just see myself in Brock Purdy. I think we all can see a little bit of our younger selves in Brock Purdy. Just as happy-go-lucky, just like, man, I'm just happy to be here kind of thing. But he's contributing at such a high level that he's getting compared during this run to guys like Joe Montana, like Steve Young, like Colin Kaepernick. Like he's been that incredible. That playoff game he had was that spectacular. And the way he shook off that rust, whatever, the nerves, whatever you want to call it, the lack of confidence, I don't know. It was loud. It's the playoffs. It's a division rival. It's Pete Carroll. It's your first time. You don't know any better. And he calmed down, righted the ship, and good things happened. Good things happened. Big Sneaky, give him a shout out to my jacket, the Miami Vice jacket. Big Puma guy. Big Adidas tracksuit guy. Maybe it's the last name, maybe because it ends in a vowel. Maybe it's just the Italian in me. I love a good tracksuit. And check it out if you haven't on YouTube. I have a plethora of them that I wear weekly. So thank you for noticing. Greg Smith, a Bosa and Purdy party would be the most chill party ever. That's a great point. Just don't invite his brother Joey. I'll say that. Joey seems like a hothead. That guy, whew. Polar opposites of the Bosa brother spectrum. And Nick on the field is a beast, but off of it, it's pretty tame. I mean, we've had his father, John Bosa. You've heard him on the morning roast. He's like, Nick's a very quiet guy. He likes to read, go to sleep at what is it, like 8:30 or 9 nightly, just do his own thing. He's like an old man. I appreciate that. Brother Joey seems like more of a guy who likes to go out at night on the town. Very serious still. Man. Did you see the video of him banging his helmet on the sideline after that collapse if you're the Chargers? And the helmet popped back up and head coach Brandon Staley caught it and gave it back to Joey Bosa, who immediately threw it back down in frustration. Just all sorts of problems on that Chargers team. And if they keep Brandon Staley, I just have a feeling it'll keep going. Again, just a wild, wild weekend in sports. You had one of the greatest comebacks in postseason history. Jags down 27-0. They come back to win it. Trevor Lawrence shakes off 4 first-half interceptions, and good for Trevor. I was saying that in the chat, man. Just a horrible, horrible first year in the NFL under Urban Meyer. And you guys know how I feel about Urban Meyer. I think he's the worst coach in the history of the NFL and maybe one of the worst coaches in the history of professional sports. His first year was just a dumpster fire. And what Doug Peterson meant coming into that organization and changing things has just been incredible, and why he put on display that Saturday why he is my coach of the year. But good for Trevor, shaking off again. Brock Purdy didn't throw 4 interceptions in the first half like Trevor did, but he still was able to shake off the nerves, and both of them did some incredible things. And Skylar Thompson, we had another, 7th-round rookie quarterback somehow start. We'll never see this again. I will be confident that we will never see 2 7th-round rookies start a playoff game in Brock Purdy and Skylar Thompson out of K-State. Just and look at this guy coming in. I have to mention, just the smile on his face. The 52 is at Patrick Willis, the old school 49er uniform. The Reebok, I love the Reeboks, by the way. Shout out Allen Iverson. We had a Reebok outlet near us, and I used to get AIs there all the time. Joe Shasky, you know him, you love him.
Can we talk about these jerseys for a second? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I was just drawing out until you turned that mic on, and I was just gassing you up.
I forget, I'm like brand agnostic, I guess, right? I don't need to have just Nike or just Reebok or just Adidas or whatever.
No, celebrate everything.
Yeah, like whatever. It doesn't matter to me, right? Like, I've got Under Armour cleats, I've got Nike cleats, I've got Adidas cleats.
I'm going Puma right now, and I got Adidas shoes.
That's what I'm saying. So anyway, that being said, the new Nike jerseys, the let's say the least expensive one, the one that's like $100, they're too stiff. I like this mesh material from back in the 90s and the 2000s. You see how it's like the top is like a, normal, I don't know, polyester, I guess you would call it.
Yes.
And then it's mesh from about the chest down.
Yes.
Now
it has a more practice jersey feel to it, but I kind of like that. Yes.
I prefer these jerseys. I am begging Nike, go back to these jerseys. The ones that they have now for like $100, $125, maybe they're $140. They're too stiff. They're like, I don't know how to describe them. They don't fit right.
They're very slim, which is weird when you're trying to market to a very large audience.
People wearing jerseys got dad bod.
Yes.
Okay. Allow us to fit right. So that's what
so you have to get a size bigger, which is obviously more expensive, and it's
exactly.
like you hate to do stuff like that.
Go back to the mesh. Like to me, like I don't understand why we do this. It drives me nuts. And then the fully authentic ones that are like $400. I don't have one, but the way the shoulders are, dog, ain't nobody buying one that looks like you're wearing shoulder pads.
No.
Fix this.
Fix it. I know, it's a great point. And what were you rocking at the game? What jersey? Were you rocking that one? What were you rocking?
No, so I had the custom Shasky on.
Yeah.
Number 1.
You had the Shasky number. That's right. And I saw you on the Jumbotron, buddy. How cool is that?
So let me take you back on that to those that saw it on the internet, because Lucas is like, you're a weirdo. I'm like, Lucas, this is literally how it went down. I go, Sam, hey, I'm in the seats, 327. I'm in my section. I'm in my seats. Come by. Let's do this quick little IG live, right, for the station. Because, look, wanted us to do an IG live.
Promote.
Yeah, exactly, even though it's crazy conditions out there. So Sam comes over, and it's me, my buddy, and some random kids behind us whose dad is like a huge fan of the show. And I'm doing an IG live from the seats. I'm standing there, and like the people on the comment section, of the chat, if you will, of the IG live are like, "Are you wearing a Jimmy Ward jersey?" And I'm like, "No, this is a Shasky number 1." So I pulled it down to show everyone, like, "Hey, no, this is a Shasky." And then as I'm doing that, the guy behind us is like, "We're on the big screen." So I turned around and then I ripped the coat down even more, and I was like, doing
perfect.
the RVD.
It's perfect.
But somebody happened to be recording from like the lower level of the bowl and caught me up on the Jumbotron.
That's awesome.
How random is that?
That's so cool, though. Like that's the one cool part about social media. There's a lot of bad parts.
There's a lot of bad parts.
Yeah, but being connected like that, and like someone somewhere saw something, which cannot always be the best, but for that case, it was there, right place, the right time, which is super cool. Joe, you were there. I've been hearing a lot from the text line and the YouTube chat. You guys have been on fire. Keep it up all day. We're going to have all your coverage here, 95.7 The Game. We do have some Warriors, but don't worry. We'll have all that stream. Download the Odyssey app, favorite 95.7. We will be on the stream starting at 11 o'clock with Willard Dibbs, Steiny, and Goo. So we'll have all that.
Will we be on YouTube on Warriors or YouTube on 49er content?
Boy, that's a great question. That's a tease, and we'll have that on the other side. I'm not sure.
Because I was listening to you coming in, and that was my thought. Like, what about YouTube?
No, it's a good point. I would assume we would have YouTube somehow, some way, if we get on like some computers back there. But
yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. The atmosphere at Levi's, Joe. So first off, it wasn't really wet from what I saw.
Oh, no, it was.
Early it was, but towards the end there, right?
It was in and out all day.
You tell me. Okay.
It was in and out all day. So, like, we got to the lot around 11:15, and right when we got, I was like, oh, sun's out. You know, I'm like, this is great. Took 2 steps out of the car, and it just started dumping, right?
Man.
And then, put the coat on, put my beanie on, and then it stopped. Mm-hmm. And then it started, and then it stopped. It was like off and on pretty much all day. Got into the stadium, light drizzle. This is about an hour before the game. And then, like, I'd say light drizzle for an hour. And then it came down for maybe a little bit in the first quarter, especially early on. Like that first throw that Purdy made, it was kind of a mist, if you will, where he was really off on that throw. And then it stopped for a while. Then it would start again. Then it would stop. But it wasn't heavy rain until the fourth quarter.
Gotcha. And by that time, the game was pretty much fell over.
But the footing, this is what I would say on the Bosa thing. Because, like, I saw, like, just me, my naked eye, they were having a tough time getting a good jump off the line.
That's what I noticed. I was like, Bosa, this isn't like a normal Bosa game. Like, granted, give the Seahawks credit. Like, they're starting 2 rookie right and left tackle, which is incredible.
And they chipped him.
And then chipped him hard.
Yeah,
they were
all
going
game.
out. So then Bosa, right place, right times.
Yes.
Jobs, and that was the biggest play of the game, obviously.
Yes.
But, Shasky, your overall, we've blown through this already.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. And I love to get your perspective. Just real quick, your thoughts overall on that dominant performance and Brock Purdy. Like,
tale of 2 halves.
Like, this guy, like, if he plays like that, Super Bowl, like, why not at this point, right?
I thought, put Brock Purdy to the side because clearly he played incredible in the second half. That's undeniable. Shanahan's play calling was on a whole nother level.
So aggressive.
He had these deep routes drawn up where guys underneath were wide open. I would say to anybody, like, watch the game back. Literally on multiple plays where they're getting huge chunks. There are 2 and 3 guys open on every play. Shanahan was on a whole nother level in this game. And then Brock Purdy, you were talking about extending plays. I mean, just a couple steps left, couple steps right, boom.
Exactly.
But Geno outplayed him in the first half, and then it flipped. It totally flipped in the second half.
Yep, totally. That's Joe Shasky. He's going to be joining Bonte Hill next. Morning Roast, they're fired up. They were both at the game. They have an awful lot to get into. 49ers, they beat the Seattle Seahawks 41-23. We want to hear from you, Niners fans, at 888-957-9570. YouTube, Twitch, all that. Coming up next, Morning Roast, Joe Shasky, Bonte Hill. This was the pregame show, Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco.
An Odyssey station.